All right, long overdue for this one, but I had to get some time in with it before I told you guys about it. This is the Seiko 62MAS Reissue. I'll leave the exact reference number of this one in the description. Quickly go through the specs of the watch, tell you guys my thoughts and experience, and then at the end I'll tell you guys if I recommend it. So let's quickly get to the specs of the watch here. We have a 40.5mm case size. We have a thickness here of 13.6 millimeters all the way to the top of the sapphire crystal. Lug to lug here is 47 millimeters, and the lug width is 20 millimeters. We have a sapphire crystal up top with AR coating, and it is slightly raised above the bezel there. 120 click unidirectional bezel. This does have a stainless steel bezel insert, and it's coated in their some type of proprietary Seiko coating. And this does have the 6R35 movement in it. Lume bright all over the hands and indices. This is, as you can see, the gray anthracite edition. And this does have solid end links, solid links, milled clasp, which is kind of rare for a Seiko, but this price point, which we'll get into, should have it, in my opinion. Seiko wave there at the back. This also does feature a diver's extension. I've never seen anybody actually use these things, but I mean, it's there, and I think it does have a good place there because this is reference to their first ever diver. So good nod there. No crown guards. This watch actually wears fairly good. And I'll show you guys how it looks on a 7-inch wrist. Very comfortable watch. As most Seikos, no hot spots whatsoever. The crown does not dig, even though it's at the 3 o'clock position. It just wears very comfortably. It's not too tall, so it wears very low on wrist, and it just wears nice. I went for the gray dial. I had a chance to buy the white dial with the blue bezel, which we'll kind of get into in a bit. Let's talk about price really quickly. These do retail for around $1,200 currently, and that is usually either for this gray anthracite dial or the white limited edition one. You can still pick those up around $1,200. Used, you can find them usually on secondary market for around $1,000, $950 to $1,000, and you can usually pick them up right around there. As you can see, this one does line up. My suggestion with these, anytime I spend over $700 on something, I really want to make sure things are kind of to my standards. So what I did is I actually went to my local AD and I chose the watch. My local AD had 2 or 3 in, and I got to pick, and I actually got lucky because the day I went in, they actually had just received the shipment. So I was able to pick the one that I wanted. So I made sure it kind of lined up. Now, of course, this does have a little bit of play. We'll get into the watch now. This does have a little bit of bezel play. I think for a Seiko, for any bezel in general, it's okay. But I think for here, it kind of helps with the alignment. 3-link style bracelet is nice. There is a little bit of play to it, but it's enough just to make it comfortable. And it's not really flimsy at all. I like how they have the coin edge bezel there, very easy to grip. The size of this watch is very classic and comfortable to wear. I mean, it's basically wears like a 40mm watch to me, 20mm strap bracelet size. So it's just that perfect 40-20 ratio. The gray anthracite dial I'm a sucker for. I chose this over the white dial, although I got close to picking the white dial. The white is has a little bit of a silver shimmer to it, which if you watched my previous videos, if I buy a white watch, I kind of want it kind of a flat white or just a pure white. I don't like pearl whites on my dials. I don't like silver dials on my watches, so I went with the gray dial, and I think it was the right choice. These do have their proprietary Dia-Shield coating, so it should hold up to scratches a little bit better. I do like how they went with the no crown guards, but the screw down crown is not signed, but you do have your drilled lug holes there. So just a tool watch all around, but it's a very classy tool watch here. You can wear this every day or dressing up, because this is that good. You can see there the little chamfered edge, which breaks up the brushing, so it gives it just that touch of elegance there, and just makes the shape a little bit more dynamic. There's already a lot of reviews on these out, and a lot of people complain about the little, I guess like half a millimeter play on the end links, which I mean, honestly, for $1,000, that shouldn't be there, but it doesn't bother me much. I mean, these are strap monsters, you can switch them out anyways. Although I like Seiko, I'm not biased. I can tell you I'm not biased in that. I'm not trying to save face for them in any sort of way. I've seen a lot of different watches now, and they all have some type of issues with the end links sometimes, and this isn't that bad, honestly. I mean, I can't really, when I'm wearing the watch, I personally don't notice it that much. I'm not jiggling it around like that anyway, so once it's on my wrist, it doesn't bother me at all. I actually like how this one too, the date actually kind of blends into the markers, since they're kind of that same white little rectangles. It kind of blends in, so it doesn't break the symmetry up at all at the dial. Just a very good looking watch, very classic looking, but yet it's still a functional tool watch. So if you guys haven't seen my other video, the reason why I picked this up is I actually bought a San Martin 62MAS homage to this, and that retailed, I think, around for $250, somewhere around there. And it was so good, and I wore it almost every day, that it made me sell it and go for this one instead. And I have to tell you guys, I don't regret it. I think this watch in particular is more refined, and it should be. This does cost a lot more than that watch, so there has to be some difference in there, and there is. Just the finishing on this watch is a little better than the one I received from San Martin. Just the brushing itself, although that watch was incredible for its price point, this is just more fine brushing all around. There's less grainage to the brushing here. It's more uniform. The movement in this is better than the NH35 that was in that other movement, but for the price point, the homage watch wasn't bad, honestly. I can show you guys what this sounds like. So this is just a little bit smoother, less grainy of a movement. It's just one step above everything that other watch had, the homage. The San Martin did have a ceramic bezel insert, and I gotta say, compared to this stainless steel bezel insert, I actually prefer this one. The other one kind of looks a little bit fake, I guess, and it kind of cheapens the watch. I'm a little bit more of a purist at this point in my watch collecting journey. I prefer aluminum bezels and stainless steel bezels now. Ceramic is just kind of cheapens the watch, I think, in my opinion. The only watch I think looks good with a ceramic bezel is the King Turtles. Those actually kind of plays well with the watch, but this, I think they hit it out the park with this watch. Just a classy watch. Like I said, everything is one step above the San Martin, and it should be. I think though, for the price, the San Martin is better. That being said, I don't regret this. I'm at a point in my watch journey where I don't kind of have homage watches anymore. Maybe I have one, which would be the Smith's Everest, but besides that, I don't have any more homage watches, and I don't think I will get homage watches anymore. I think this is the way my collection is forming, and I think this is the way I'm going right now. Like I said, this is a lot more than the San Martin, but to me, it was worth it. But the San Martin was a great watch. I don't regret buying that one either. I think it's well worth the price point of around $250. And I'm glad I bought that because of that, I was able to pull the trigger on this, because let's face it, $1,000 Seiko is kind of expensive. But I think this is well worth the $1,200 of MSRP. So if you're thinking about pulling the trigger on this, I suggest that you don't hesitate too much, because these things are a joy to wear. Usually when Seiko puts on the diver's extension on the bracelets, they usually bug me. It usually digs into my wrist, but on this one, there is no hotspot whatsoever anywhere on the band. That is one of the reasons why I also switched out my Seiko Turtle, and I wear it on a rubber strap, because that also has a diver's extension, but I couldn't deal with it because it kept digging into the bottom of my wrist. So whatever Seiko did with this, all the little adjustments, they did a great job. This is probably one of the top Seikos that I have worn or purchased. So good job, Seiko. If you guys are thinking about pulling the trigger on this, I suggest you do so. Let me hit you guys with the Lume shot before I sign off here. Let me just charge it really quick with the light. And this has Seiko's Lume Bright, so it's gonna glow like a torch. It's gonna glow all night. There's no issues whatsoever on this. And as you can see too, I want you guys to notice that that smooth sweeping hand. It's very, very nicely done. Again, no surprise, it's already glowing. Turn off the lights, show you guys the magic, and as you can see, it reflects off the crystal. So no surprises there. Great Lume from Seiko. Nice job. I think this is a hit. I think it's a banger. Catch you guys on the next one.